Okay, so I thought I'd give you a little update on some of the collection today. So first of all, we're going to have a little look at Walter. I'm not sure if we're going to see Walter today because he ate a couple of days ago, or she, and so we'll try again anyway because I'm going away for a couple of days. So I'm going to give a little feeding video. So I'm just dropping a little cricket in there to see if Walter fancies anything to eat. Walter will know it's there because of the vibration on the webbing that cricket is creating. He was out, but because I've moved the enclosure, Walter's decided to go into his little hide. But we'll give it a minute or so to see if he wants to pop out and say hello. He's normally an amazing eater, and he takes down like well, he does some amazing little takedowns. I've given him some water. He's covered the water bowl with a lot of webbing, but there is water. I can just see Walter's legs just by the entrance of his little hide. If you can see, just down in there, it's just where he is, and the cricket's up there. So he's there. You can just see the legs poking. Here he comes, I think. There he comes. Look, told you. Oh, he's having a little look. He had a little look and he went straight back again. He'll come back again when he realises it's food. He's done some amazing webbing in his enclosure. His actual hide is right inside there, between the cork bark and the Buddha. But I think he's already got a cricket in his mouth. I've given him two sort of smallish crickets today, just because I'm going away for a few days. So I've given him a little bit extra. I've got a doggy lick in my hand, but he's sitting there in its hide. Here he comes again. So he's sort of spying the cricket. Did he get it? Nope, not yet. The cricket's by his leg. So he's just sitting there looking at it at the moment, waiting for that cricket to move. He might have already pierced it with his fangs and envenomated it, I'm not sure. But he's sitting there, quite content. You can just make out his fangs. The cricket's just sitting there at the moment. I'm not sure if he might have even pierced the cricket with his fangs. Which could be the reason why the cricket's not moving. Or the cricket knows if he moves, he's going to be dinner. So if we come round this way, there you can see Walter in his full glory. He's a beautiful spider. Absolutely stunning. So what we'll do, we'll leave Walter to it, and we'll check up on another spider. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm just giving you guys a little update and little checkups on from some of the species in my collection, some of your guys' sort of favourites. So I thought I'd give you a little glimpse on what they're up to. So that's Walter, the OBT. Next up is my little P. regalis, who's been settling in. He's been wandering around this little enclosure, discovering it all. He's been webbing up by the Buddha here. He's been at the back of his bark. And now he's having a nice little wander. Beautiful little animal. There he goes. So he's still settling in, discovering his new environment. So going to give it a couple more days to settle down. I have put a little cricket in there. So there is a little cricket in there with him. So if he does get hungry, he will root that out. And he will, or she, and we'll find that. So, like I said, there is a cricket in there somewhere. I'm not sure where. I think it's one, there it is, just there, see it? It's munching on some leaf litter. And our little baby seems to be settling in quite well. He spent a lot of time at the front of the enclosure there, and I realised why. Because the front is really close to the heat source in the room. So he's been sitting there to gain the heat, obviously. But what a beautiful, beautiful animal, right? Absolutely gorgeous. Still quite a young one, but it's doing well, guys. It's settled in well, and it's quite content in its new home. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful spider. So what we'll do, we'll leave the little baby to it. So it's got food in there, so if it's hungry it will find it. And we'll move on to look at another spider. So another spider I get asked about quite a bit, how it's doing, is my Grammostola pulchra. Well, you may have noticed on my video on my channel, I did put a video up of it's molted out a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to drop a cricket in there for it today, and top up this water bowl. It's in its hide. It has been out some morning, but because I've moved the enclosure onto this table here, so I can do the little video, it ran back into his hide. So I've dropped a little cricket in there. Doing well, actually. Won't be long till I probably have to think about rehousing this one again into a bigger enclosure. Might be alright for another molt in here. We'll just give it a few minutes, see if it wants to pop out and say hello. It's got an entrance down there, and it also has an entrance. Well, it did have an entrance down there, but I think it's blocked it all off, just so it's got one entrance now. So we've dropped a little cricket in there. I don't know where the cricket's gone. Probably around here somewhere. Yeah, there he is, look. Come on, Mr. Cricket. Come and play. Go onto the webbing. So, yeah, it was doing alright. I said no guarantee we're going to see the baby, because you know what spiders are like. They don't play ball. Why? Because they're not performing animals. You know, if you're patient enough, you know, you should be able to get to see a spider. You know, like here, we just sit here for a little bit, let that cricket wander round. It's going round towards the entrance of the enclosure. If we can sort of zoom in a bit. If it walks down in front of the door, it might not be so lucky. Because that's the entrance down there, and that's where the baby is in there. I think the locust has turned around and double backed over this way probably. So you can see all this webbing. It's been webbing up. You see all the webbing now on the ground. When food does come over that, I'm sure she will feel it. We're back here again. If it goes in there, she will grab it. I'm just kind of hoping really that she's feeling the vibrational heat and will come out and give us a little show of himself after its molt. But you know, if it doesn't want to, it doesn't have to. It's all good by me. And of course, so just be a bit patient and we'll wait and see. Anyway, this is the Grammostola pulchra in here. I mean, at the moment you're probably thinking, no, it's just a mound of bark and dirt and little bits of leaves and moss and stuff. But in there is a beautiful spider. So, but you just got to be patient when you're feeding, guys. Sometimes, you know, they can be straight out and you know, you get a good feeding video. Other times you don't get nothing. Other times you just got to play patient and just hopefully just be happy with a glimpse. I always just happy just seeing the spider grab the food. I don't care if I see the whole spider. I like to just see that it's grabbing the food. So that is now having a little wander around. But she will come out, or he, and find the food when it's hungry. She will feel all that sort of vibration going on. She's used all bits of dirt and webbed all bits of dirt up to block up that entrance. They're so clever, spiders, they really are. So it doesn't look like we're going to see the pulchra today, but I'll just reassure you, she did absolutely really well. And when she is out and about, I'll try and grab some footage for you. Another one I get asked about a lot is my little baby, the little baby of the collection, the Grammostola pulchripes. You know, I've got the adult female, but I've also got like a little baby sling. It molted out again, so it's molted out 3 times with me. I'm just going to drop a tiny little cricket in there because it's still quite small. Let's have a look, see if we can pop a bit of light on to see if we can see the baby. It's built its hide right at the back here. But yeah, it's doing alright. It's out at night time quite a lot. I see it sort of like out and about, sort of having a little scurry around its little enclosure. But yeah, it seems to be doing really, really well. Don't know if I can turn this around. And we'll come down and see if we can see the baby. Yeah, we can just about make out a bum there. See? There's the bum. Looking really, really good health. Looking really nice. Yeah, this is my little baby in the collection. I call it my little baby because the story behind this one was like this came from Andy from So Many Legs as a freebie. You may remember I brought a female um, juvenile, and unfortunately she got ill, and not, but only when like she arrived, you know, quite, yeah, not as not normal. I noticed something. Anyway, I sent her off to Andy, and she passed away sadly. Andy did try his best to revive the spider, but it was, yeah, not good. And then he said, well, next time you're off, I'll get a good size polka piece. I'll give you first offer on it, which he did, and that's my big female. But he also sent me a freebie in the meantime because I got my Lazadora Parabama from him, and he sent me a nice little sling. Do you see there? A nice little sling of this little baby, and it's doing really really well. And I think she's coming out because I think she can feel the movement of that cricket. She's down here now, I believe. Yeah, so let me turn this back around very gently. Try not to disturb her too much. Yeah, she can feel that cricket. I'll turn the light back off. The cricket is just moving about up here, and she can feel it. So yeah, and he sent me this as a little freebie, and it was tiny little thing. It must have been just under a centimetre. And now, I mean, because it was in one of those little square sort of bra pack containers for a molt or two, and now she's in this sort of one, which is a small sort of Exoterra, very very small, ideal for overgrown slings and some sort of juvenile spiders of like if you've got like a dwarf species, fantastic for them. Anyway, he's now in this one, and it's doing really really well. As you can see, she's moving about. She can feel that food, and she can probably feel me chatting as well. She'll probably feel the air change because I've taken the lid off. So maybe the best thing for me to do is pop that lid back on, because that will hopefully stop my breath or whatever it is that might disturb her, and she might pop out. Let's have a look at her again. Yeah, you can just make her out down there, and the cricket is up the top here somewhere running around. I made the hide this side, as you can see the remainder of the bark, but she's actually covered that and dug her own little hide underneath this moss, and there's another little bit of bark there anyway, and she's made her own little home there. Doing really really well. So that is my little Grammostola polka peas baby, and as you can see, she's in really good health. So let's move on to the next spider. Okay, here we are with another popular spider in the hobby, the H polka peas. Look what she's done here, or he. Now this one I do see out and about at night. Rarely see it out and about in the daytime. Just dropped a little cricket on there for it. So I'm not sure if we're going to see the baby. So it generally comes out at night, but she will be feeling that all that movement from that cricket there. The cricket's managed to struggle free. And I don't know if we can see any of her down in her little hide. Yeah, just see a leg there. So she's down there, doing really well actually. Really nice size. Again, this was one that I've got as supposed to have been a juvenile. Do you remember? And it came like an overgrown sling. She's molted out, I think, twice for me now, and doing really really well. So It's really, really cool to see it doing well. Pop some water in the bowl. That's it. These do like a more drier sort of environment, but I offer it water, and the water will also help the humidity in this enclosure. You can see the baby's bottom there. These are an Orwell spider from Africa. And the cricket is making its way around there. If it finds an entrance down there, I'm sure she will come and grab it. But they are mostly quite nocturnal anyway. It's quite a shy little species. Can be a little bit skittish. I've had no problems with the spider. Hasn't been defensive or anything whatsoever. And I'm sorry guys if you've only seen bits and bobs of the spiders, but you know, that's the way it is, isn't it? This is what this hobby is. I am not going to go in there and dig the spider out just for you to see it, you know. You've seen this spider on my channel before, and you will see it again. But yeah, she's done an amazing job in this enclosure. Absolutely webbed it to the fullest. Looks absolutely amazing. Look at all this. And at night time, she will come out, and she pretty much sits around about here at the night time. So if she doesn't grab that cricket during the day here, come tonight, she'll be all over that, and she will grab it. Because you know what crickets are like, they can't sit still for 2 minutes. So, yeah, but she's doing really well, guys. And that is the H. Pulchripes, the golden blue-legged baboon. So we'll move on to another one. Okay, another one that you guys asked me about quite a bit is this little guy, the Bumba horrida. This was a gift that I had from Mark the Spider Guy some time ago that we led to believe it was a T. vagans, but turned out to be, oh, he's got his dinner there. It turned out to be a Bumba horrida, do you remember? Anyway, so it's doing really well. It's molted out 3 times since I've had it, and it loves this little home. It's built itself a lovely hide underneath that cork bark, and we rarely see it. Even at night time, it doesn't really come out. The Bumba horrida, which is common name is the Brazilian redhead, they're a beautiful little spider. They've got sort of like a black sort of velvety abdomen and legs, and then they've got a really sort of red carapace, which is like really makes it stand out. So they're quite obvious to what they are. But when I got this as a sling, it was difficult to see what it was because it was so small. But as it's grown up, it's turned into the Bumba horrida. Well, we saw a few legs, didn't we? Guys, I am sorry if you're not seeing a lot of spiders in this video, but it's the way it is. It's just the way it is. This is a feeding day today. I'm giving them some food because I'm going away for a couple of days to see the lad down in Stevenage. So I'm feeding my spiders up so they've all got some nice food. Later in the month there will be some more rehousings and unboxings coming because I've got some species that do need rehousing, and I do have some coming. So there we go. That's about all you're going to see of the horrida today, but we'll move on to another spider. Well, in here we have another popular spider in the hobby. This is the Chalcodes, £1 Chalcodes, or the Arizona Blondes, a popular spider in the hobby, and it's sitting underneath its cork bark. Normally comes out to say hello. It's normally quite a generally sociable spider, but today doesn't want to come out. I can see a bum just sitting there, looking good size. Mind you, it's looking quite a bit shiny on that bum, so it could be getting close to a pre-molt stage. A bit difficult to say because the baby's hiding away. but normally pops out and says hello. It's doing really well anyway. I've just dropped a little waxworm in there because I think if it is quite near to pre-molt, it probably won't want anything that could be of danger to it. There she is, having a little move. You gonna come out and say hello, baby? Hey? He's looking quite plump, I must say. So it could well be getting towards the edge of pre-molt. And this time of year, it can take a while. There's nothing wrong with it. You can see that all the pup there, so it's pooing all right. Yeah. If this does molt out, then what I'll probably do once it's malted out, I might not change its enclosure. It depends on how much, if it gains any size. But I will take the spider out and give it a freshen up and get rid of all this, you know. So yeah, she's doing well though. So that is the Chalcodes. at least at least you get to see her bum. Her bum is looking really quite shiny, isn't it? So I wouldn't be surprised if it is getting close to pre-molt. If they're in pre-molt, guys, I still offer them food, okay? Because just because they're in pre-molt doesn't mean they're not hungry or don't need to eat. That extra bit of food could be what the spider needs to help it get to that right moment of molting. So I still offer it the food. You just need to be thinking, okay, well, if I put a cricket in or something like that, I'm going to need to dig that out if it's still in there after a day or so. If it's something non-offensive, like a waxworm, which are totally non-evasive, they won't hurt your spider because they don't bite it or anything, and they pupate into moths, and that again will not hurt your spider. So I tend to, if I think they're pre-molty, I give them the waxworms. And not only that, that waxworm contains quite a bit of fluid and fat, which is also quite useful for the spider if it's getting towards that stage of molting out. And I provide it still with a water bowl, just filled that up. And that there will also create enough humidity in this enclosure for that spider. So we'll probably move on. We'll probably do one more spider and then we'll end the video. Right, we'll have one more look today in this enclosure. That dinosaur was pretty much buried. He's up to his neck in it, pretty much. So we're going to have a look at one more spider today. Probably this is going to be the Brachypelma amelia. Again, which is one that I've had since a little sling. It's normally out and about, so I'm wondering as well if this one's in some form of pre-molt. It's covered the other hide up completely now and just using the worm, which is here. So let's have a little look, see if we can have a little see if we can see the baby in there. Oh, she's just sitting right at the back of her hide there. See her? Yeah, so there she is. The worm's being a bit daft and sort of like, if you go in there you might end up as dinner. But yeah, she's out quite a bit, and just today she's deciding to sit inside there. Again, it's normally the afternoons and evenings they tend to come out more because my spider room is in the top floor of my house. So what happens? Heat rises. So this up here becomes warmer than it is in the mornings. So that's why I don't see many of them out and about in the morning. The only ones I ever really see is Walter, my OBT, and my Pinky in the Brain, my salmon pink. They're the only ones I really see out in the daytime. So anyway, she wouldn't know that worm's there. She might not be hungry at the moment. She's not overly fussed on the worms. She prefers a cricket. But we'll see what happens here. See if she takes this. Of this worm. But she's doing alright. Again, she's got a nice little water bowl there, which has got fresh water in it. I'll give my spiders fresh water. I tend to feed them once a week to twice, but water I definitely give them twice a week. I'll go around and refill their bowls up. Don't do it every day because I don't like disturbing my spider. You know, I don't like disturbing the spider, so I try my best not to disturb it if I can help it. But we can make out her beautiful colorations there on her legs. Do you remember when we got her? She had zero sort of orange on her legs, and now she's like really come on really well, and she's slowly becoming one of my favourite spiders in my collection. Don't know why. I've just got a real soft spot for this one. Just trying to see what that worm's trying to do. She will know it's there. Again, like I said, if they're in pre-molt, these waxworms are so inoffensive to a spider. It won't cause your spider any problem. So if you believe your spider could be in pre-molt, or you haven't seen them for a while because they might be hiding, but you still want to offer them food, give them something like this, because they won't hurt your spider. A cricket, now if you put a cricket in there, or a mealworm, and your spider is in a pre-molt stage, that could be a problem to your spider if it decides to molt out. This won't even do nothing to your spider. I'm not sure if she's in pre-molt. The way she's left her hide completely open suggests to me that no, she's not. Normally they start blocking it off. The Brachypelmas, the Grammostolas, and those, they tend to block off their hides if they are going to molt out. But yeah, she's beautiful. Beautiful spider. Relaxing in her den. And she's got some food if she's hungry. If she's hungry, she'll eat that. That's what you got to remember, guys. Don't think they're fussy eaters, because they're not. If they're hungry, they'll eat it. The other day I put in a locust with my Lazadora, and she just gave it a little defence pose, didn't eat it or nothing. So I believe she's in pre-molt, or he, so I won't be feeding her today. I'll just be making sure she's got plenty of clean water. And we're going to leave this little spider here, and we're going to leave the video here. Thanks for watching this little update on some of the species. Again, I'm sorry if you didn't get to see many spiders, but that's the nature of the hobby. You know, it's just the way it is, guys. So let's thank a few YouTube channels out there before we go. Let's thank Mark the Spider Guy, Spider Mum 1978, Unseen Universe, RS Designs, Unusual Pets, Incredible Inverts and Other Animals, Tina Deep Blue Sea, Scott's Inverts, Tom's Big Spiders, Eddie's Bug Babies, and of course Dave's Little Beasties. Thanks for watching this little update video. Hopefully I'll be bringing you more footage of these spiders, because I like to give you regular updates on them. And like I said, in the next few weeks we hopefully will have some rehousings and some unboxings to do. Until then, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I see you all soon.